Hey guys, Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I am back on Camfrey15 Talk Sports channel talking some NFL football, and we are here because NFL football is officially back. No more preseason. These games now start to matter. They now start to count after the long freaking off season. Been waiting for this. Been waiting for this. I'm already done with baseball because one, the Angels, well, they're just gonna angel for me. Love the Angels, right? But anyways, I can't count on my UCLA Bruins to be good this year. We got shellacked by Utah, and then, well, basketball's been coming back, and I don't have any love lost for the Clippers, so. Anyways, obviously, as you guys know, if you're new to the channel, I am a Chicago Bears fan. So, yeah, the Chicago Bears are my team, and yeah, but instead of giving my prediction, well, give me my prediction for the Bears, right? Um, but look, we're here to do a prediction. Well, I'm here to do my predictions for the whole NFL season as a whole, and we're gonna get into it. Now, I'm typically joined with my uncle Darrell on the channel for our NFL predictions, but because he has work going on, he cannot be able to join us. Hopefully, he's able to join for the Monday Night Football Bears recap as well as NFL Week 2 predictions, and obviously week one recap as well, and things like that. So, yeah, but I managed to reach out to him. He did provide some of his predictions, so we're gonna go game by game, and I'll just give I'll give the predictions and his predictions as well. So, number one, the first game that starts off the NFL season on Thursday, September 4th, will be hosted none other by the reigning defending NFL Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, on Thursday night football, but it's basically the Sunday night broadcast, right? Um, you can watch the game on NBC. It will be the Dallas Cowboys after they stupidly traded Micah Parsons away to go up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I kind of, again, I do wish my Uncle Darrell was on the channel so I could hear his thoughts about Micah Parsons being traded, but if he joins on the next NFL predictions video, I'll definitely ask him about that. So yeah, but anyways, the Dallas Cowboys, they're obviously a week before their game. They traded away Micah Parsons, their defensive end, for to get, Kenny Clark and two first round picks. What those first round picks will amount to, don't know. They'll probably be later round first round picks because you expect the Packers to be good. As a Bear fan, I hope they're not, but that's my thing. And then they got Kenny Clark, that they can use up the middle because, well, according to Jerry Jones, they needed to do a better job at stopping the run. Now, look, we know that Michael Parsons definitely wasn't a good run stopper and he was more of a good pass rusher. But even then, it's like, dude, what the hell are you doing, bro? It makes absolutely no sense why the Cowboys even thought about trading him. So, yeah, but anyways, that's kind of the whole thing there. I know for the Eagles, they got kind of some new faces on defense, especially with the moves that they made by getting rid of Darius Slay and CJ Gardner Johnson. And then I think some of their members on their offensive line, they are injured. But realistically, when that offense has what they have, they're more than likely going to win. And I got the Cowboys, I mean, not the Cowboys, the Eagles winning this game. I'll say 24, actually, no, 30, I'll say 31-17. I got them winning 31-17 around that range. I think they beat them by two scores. I think it's close within the first two quarters, and then by the time we get to the second half, the Eagles pull away. The only reason why I say that is because the Cowboys defensive coordinator is the former Chicago Bears head coach and Matt Eberflus, and I think they'll give him some good looks, but then other than that, they'll just pull away because Jalen Hurts will make some nice throws to Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, and then Saquon will just do Saquon things. But yeah, I fully expect the Cowboys not to do nothing, but if the game is closer than what it's supposed to be, okay, I'll take it, but we'll definitely see. But I got the Eagles winning this game. My uncle basically said the same thing. Eagles winning this game 31-17, right? So there's that. Next up on Friday, if I can frickin' pull up the NFL schedule. Uh NFL schedule, yes. On Friday, September 5th, this game is actually be streaming on YouTube. The NFL, they find ways to make so many ways to make these games a lot more or not a lot of less accessible to people, bro. Like, Jesus, bro. Now we're streaming games on YouTube now. Jesus, I hope it's just regular straight to YouTube. It's not like, oh, you need to have a YouTube TV account with the subscription and everything enabled. Jeez. Anyways, Chiefs are playing the Chargers on a neutral site in Brazil. Personally, if you ask me, why are we having games and why are we wasting home games at a neutral site? I have no fucking clue. But okay, so the Chiefs obviously they are revamped, especially on the offensive line. Defense is still good. Obviously, the biggest thing about the Chiefs is they're coming off that embarrassing Super Bowl performance that they had. And on top of it, Travis Kelce apparently is now engaged to Taylor Swift. I'm not getting into that and things like that. So, yeah, but they're obviously going to be motivated to try to right the wrong that they had last year in last year's Super Bowl. So we'll see how they do. The Chargers, on the other hand, this is year two of Jim Harbaugh. They made some additions. I know one of their additions was they re-signed Keenan Allen back to the team, which he probably should have never left. And my God, I'm going to be frustrated when I watch this game if I see Justin Herbert throw these insane passes to Keenan Allen and he fucking catches these passes when Keenan Allen was on the fucking Bears last year. He was dropping fucking passes from Caleb Williams. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Of course, leave it to the fact that the Bears receiver, a really good wide receiver in his entire NFL career, he was known for a guy that doesn't drop passes. But next thing you know, he gets to fucking Chicago, he drops passes. Albeit statistically, he had a good year, but realistically, when you look at it, he should have never left the Chargers. Like, but then again, it just comes down to the fact like the man wanted money. And guess what? He basically signed basically a 1 year vet minimum deal. So honestly, he should have just kept the money he had going. I don't think the freaking Chargers, would have cut him. And that's kind of the thing there. But he's back there along with Lad McConkey right there. Albeit Keenan Allen is still there. I still feel like they don't have like a true number one dude. Like Keenan Allen, he's in his latter years, so he's not that number one dude like he once was. Lad McConkey, albeit he's also a good receiver, he's a slot guy. Um, that's kind of been the problem with the Chargers. They don't have that go-to elite wide receiver for Justin Herbert. So that's the thing. I'm gonna say the Chiefs win this game. And it's just kind of the thing, just kind of the fact that I think they'll just do more on offense and they'll get necessary stops when needed. We'll see. If the Chargers are going to win this game, they got to run the ball effectively, and on top of it, they got to play good defense against Mahomes, maybe force a turnover right then and there, and also at the same time, they got to hope that Justin Herbert doesn't throw any untimely interceptions or turns the ball over himself. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs winning this game. I'll say they'll win this game 24-17. My uncle Darrell, what is it? Let me see if he gave his pick for this game. He's actually going with the Chargers pulling off the upset 28-27. So probably like last minute field goal or something like that. If the Chargers do find a way to win this game on a neutral field, that's really freaking big. Especially the fact that technically this is their home game. So it would be in the Chargers' best interest to win this game. So then, late in the season or I don't know, whenever they play Kansas City again, the next game will be in Kansas City. So there's that. Anyways, we're finally get to our Sunday slate of games. We got the Arizona Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints. Um, I don't think I need to go too much in depth about this damn game. It's Kellen Moore's first game, being the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and the starting quarterback is going to be Spencer Rattler. Personally, none of the teams, if I could pick, I don't think they're going to be any good this year. But I'm going to go with the team that has the better quarterback, and the better weapons. And I'm going to go with the Cardinals looking to go into New Orleans and winning. Because personally, if you ask me, I don't trust Spencer Rattler at all. I don't think he is an NFL caliber quarterback. He's a good backup option to maybe use, but not a starting good option. And you're not going to go to Tyler Show or whatever, however you pronounce his name, the Louisville rookie quarterback. So I'm gonna go with New Orleans or the Cardinals to win. And my uncle Darrell is doing the same thing. He's got Arizona winning 20-14. Next game up is the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. Again, another bad matchup between two teams that don't look like they're going to be good this year. The Dolphins going off with the preseason and especially these joint practices they had, they don't look very promising. And the fact that the Dolphins, legitimately after that joint practice with the Bears that they had, were still complaining. It was like freaking preseason week 3, and they were still complaining, including their beat reporters over there. It just goes to show you how soft they are. Like legitimately, it goes to show you how soft they are. Um, and personally, if you ask me, because of that, I actually want to see the Dolphins fucking fail. Um, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be a good team. They got a lot of drama going on, especially with the Tyreek Hill situation dating back from last year when he basically quit on the fucking team. You can make the case Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat. I know from what apparently is said, he's not really liked over there by Miami Dolphins fans because they just don't think he's too lackadaisical and laissez-faire, and he doesn't instill that of a leadership quality. And then their defense, you know, like I don't think their defense is going to be good this year, right? So we'll see how the Dolphins do this year. The Colts, on the other hand, they got a bunch of turmoil going on over there. They have a solid defense, as well as a solid, I guess, offensive weapons around said quarterback. But shock of the shock of obviously coming out of the training camp is that Anthony Richardson is going to be the backup, and Daniel Jones, who ended up getting released from the Giants, who went and spent the rest of the year last season with Minnesota, then signed a deal to essentially be with the Colts, was in a quarterback competition with Anthony Richardson, and he ended up winning the job. Now, I think Anthony Richardson more than likely probably lost the job in preseason week 1 when he basically, one, did not see that a Ravens defender was coming and lit his ass up, damn near dislocating his fucking finger, right? And I think from that point on, Shane Steichen and the other members of the Colts coaching staff, and along with Chris Ballard, they probably saw that and they're like, yeah, he still hasn't learned from his lessons, so they decided to go with the more competent quarterback, I guess you can say, the one that's actually had NFL legitimate experience and actually has played in a playoff game before, and they go with Daniel Jones. Um, Look, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to take them anywhere, nor do I think he's going to be great or good. I think it'll be okay for them, but clearly when you look at the Colts now, they're probably going to be relying on the run game and then make it to be where Daniel Jones, okay, buddy, we'll put the ball in your hand sometimes. Just don't do anything reckless out there. Just go out there, be a good game manager, and we'll try to put the game, away as early as we can so you don't have to do too much, right? And we have to play catch up, right? Which is the Colts' problem. But then benching Anthony Richardson, in my opinion, just looking from the outside in, it just feels like they just given up on Anthony Richardson, and they feel like, okay, he's definitely not the guy. Because if you're benching him going into a critical third year of his, and he loses the quarterback battle to Daniel Jones, a failed first round pick, who's already been on, who's already on his third team. Like that just goes to show you, like it's clear that the Colts have admitted that Anthony Richardson is more than likely a bust, right? Um, Now I know Anthony Richardson's agent, I think, came out and said like he does not agree with the decision the Colts did. So is it to where maybe Anthony Richardson ends up getting traded? I definitely could see, after this season, or maybe at the trade deadline, who knows? Maybe at the trade deadline or maybe in the off season next year, they do trade Anthony Richardson to a team that does see some potential in him and maybe think, okay, we, so and so coach can feel like they can get him right and get him on the right track, right? We'll definitely see. There's definitely some teams out there that got like veteran old quarterbacks out there that may need to potentially groom a young quarterback that they feel like they can fix instead of just going to the draft. I know I've seen some people say like maybe he gets traded to the Rams. Maybe Sean McVay takes a flyer on him, because they got Jimmy Garoppolo as the backup and he's an old dude. And obviously they got Stafford who maybe has maybe 2, 3 years left playing football, right? So maybe that's the thing there. And we seen what Sean McVay has done for quarterbacks. Like obviously no one's fucking Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was looked as a guy that was absolute trash and garbage, right? But then that one year in Los Angeles with the Rams being Sean McVay having him as his coach, he goes to Tampa Bay, and next thing you know, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, right? So I don't know. I think basically by benching Anthony Richardson, I think the Colts essentially admitted that he's a bust, and now it's a failed draft pick right there. Personally, if you ask me, again, I think I went back, if you go back to that, because I think we did a draft video of me and my uncle did a draft recap of that draft he was drafted in on the channel. And I think we both agreed, from what I remember, that I think he got taken way too high. The dude was extremely raw coming out of college. And honestly, I also think Anthony Richardson kind of also did it to himself. Honestly, I think it was probably better for him to just stay in college and get as many reps as he can at Florida. So then by the time he's ready, maybe at that time he could have been a top quarterback because I felt like he left way too early. Like I think he only was at Florida for like 2 years and then he dipped. Um, when he realistically should have probably stayed his junior and maybe his senior year in college, got as many reps as he could, and then he'd be more experienced. But he felt like he could, the reports were that he saw that he was probably gonna knew he was going to be drafted high off his talent alone. And sadly, this was the type of dude where it's like it just seems like the game is going too fast for him, and it hasn't slowed down for him going into his third year. And because of that decision to come out, maybe that might end up coming to backfire him. So that's the thing. Like for example, I know we saw for college football, Arch Manning didn't look too good, and we know his grandfather said like, "Oh no, he's not coming out this next upcoming season." So it's kind of the whole thing, when it comes to these college quarterbacks, if they don't got enough reps and stuff like that in college, like it's probably maybe in their best interest to go back to college and play another year, even if they may be turning down, probably a top 10 draft pick standing slash, potential, crazy amounts of money you can make, especially as an early round draft pick, right? But, it's kind of the thing of like, well, if you continue to hone your skills, teams will still be high on you. So that's kind of the thing there, right? So yeah, anyways, my uncle said that he's got Miami winning 17-13, and I'll have to agree. I think the Dolphins, they are the better team because they got better weapons. I think they'll win the game. I think Daniel Jones will make one mistake at least. So, yeah. Next game up is Tom Brady's new owned team versus his old team, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders going to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. Um, Obviously the Raiders, they got a new head coach in Pete Carroll. They got Ashton Genty, a new quarterback in Geno Smith. They got Amari Cooper to come back. And obviously, they got Brock Bowers, who is probably going to be again one of the better, tight ends in this, just in the NFL as a whole. We'll see how they do. And for the Patriots, they got a new head coach in Mike Vrabel, who was a Patriots, basically an alumni, right? He's coming back to Foxborough to basically run the ship there. And he's get, he brought back Josh McDaniels to be the offensive coordinator, and they got some new weapons over there to help out Drake May and everything. So yeah. Now, as to who I'm going to pick in this game, man, this is actually a tough game to pick because I actually do think under Pete Carroll's guidance, the Raiders are slightly better than they were in previous years. Because he's an experienced head coach and they got an experienced quarterback. Um, I'm gonna just I'll go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the home team, the Patriots, to win this game, over the Raiders, just because of the home team. I think it's gonna be a close game, back and forth game. The question is, how will Drake May play, and if he forces any turnovers? We'll see. The only reason why I'm choosing the Patriots, I do think the Patriots defense is better than the Raiders defense. Now, opposed to because I think the Raiders offense, I think their offense is fine, to be honest, right? But it's gonna be clear, Mike Vrabel's gonna basically tell his team, hey man, we need y'all to sell out on the run. That's what you're gonna do. Sell out on the frickin' run. So I got the Patriots winning this game. And the same goes for my uncle. But then again, he's a guy that notoriously says, do not trust the Raiders. So it's Raiders. So he got New England winning 27-23. Next up, we got a battle that I think a lot of people might be looking forward to watching, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers going to New York to play the New York Jets at MetLife. And the thing about this game is essentially both teams, in a weird way, are swapping quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, who was on the Jets last year, is now on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Justin Fields, who was on the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, is now on the Jets. So that's going to be the thing here. It's going to be Aaron Glenn's first game being coached as the Jets head coach. Who I'm going to choose to win this game is I'm going with Pittsburgh to win this game. Um, I just think they're the more experienced team. I think their defense is pretty good this year. They got Jalen Ramsey as their corner. They still got TJ Watt there. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, we'll see how he plays. I would not be shocked if he gets booed in the building at MetLife. So we'll see how he does. But as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, I think they'll be good. So I got Steelers winning this. The reason why I'm not choosing the Jets to win this game, even though they're the home team, is we're gonna see how Justin Fields plays. This will be essentially like legitimately like his first absolute lock-in start, being a lock-in start in terms of being a starter since he was with my Chicago Bears. Now obviously he's got Garrett Wilson and everything, and he does have his legs to help him. So that may play a factor in this game. I could see the Jets winning this game. I think it's gonna be a close game here, but I think the Steelers are gonna edge out the game because mostly I feel like I could see Justin Fields having a turnover because he's prone to having turnovers in games, right? And I could would not be shocked if I see that. This is gonna be one of these games I definitely will watch on my Sunday slate of games. And as for what my uncle chose, he's going to go with Pittsburgh to win 26-23. So we agree there. Next game, it is the other New York team, the Giants, traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. Obviously, the Giants got a new quarterback in Russell Wilson. Um, and the Commanders, again, they're going to try to get back to where they last were at, which was the NFC Championship game. And they're looking to build off Jaden McDaniels' crazy rookie season. I'll go with the Commanders winning this game because I just think they're the better team. But I won't be shocked if the Giants maybe find a way to pull this game out. Their defense is revamped. They not only got Abdul Carter, or well, one they only got Kevion Thibodeau and Brian Burns, but they got Abdul Carter. So and we know that Washington they upgraded their offensive line to help keep Jaden Daniels protected. But I would not be shocked if they create those three create havoc on the front in the front seven on that defensive line and find ways to get to Jaden Daniels, and make him have a rough time out there. I would not be shocked. So, and if the Giants find a way to win, well, then good on the Giants. That means maybe things might be better for them. They got a stable quarterback at Russell Wilson, right? And everything. And also, too, again, the Commanders' defense is no slouch themselves with Dan Quinn calling it, and they also got Von Miller. But I'm gonna go with Commanders winning this game. I think they'll have a little bit more extra stuff. I think, they'll find a way to win this game, and everything. But we'll see how they go. Personally, I kind of want to see the Commanders downfall because I thought last year they had a very lucky season. Yes, coaching has a role to play, but when you look at some of the games they won last year, bro, they were down like fucking triple digit fucking points. Like they were down like three scores, and because these teams let up too damn much, they let Commanders get back in the game, right? Obviously, me being as a Bears fan, seeing that crazy Hail Mary, bro, I don't give a shit what anybody fucking says. They would have lost that game if not for Eberflus's incompetency and Tyreek Stevenson's stupidity not being ready because, dog, like they had probably one of the luckiest Hail Marys ever. And, that basically made it to where people thought, that Jaden Daniels was better. Again, he was good last year, but like nobody expected him to be that fucking good coming out of college. And on top of it, he had great coaching around him, and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, too, they had a lot of luck. Like, let's just be honest. They had a lot of luck to even get as far as they did last year. Like realistically, they should have lost against Tampa Bay in that wild card game, but Tampa Bay shot themselves in the fucking foot. And obviously, again, as the team like you're supposed to, you're going to take advantage of that, right? But that's the thing there. So yeah. In terms of what my uncle said, he's got Washington winning the close game 33-30. Next game is the Panthers at the Jaguars. Two teams that obviously are looking to turn it around. Panthers looking to see if we can see if they're an actual serious team for once now with Bryce Young, even though they traded away Adam Thielen. And then the Jaguars, they got a new coach in Liam Cohen, gonna look to help Trevor Lawrence live up to essentially the billing he was, right? And they also got another good, player in Travis Hunter. So we'll see. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars winning this game because they're the home team. Or actually, no, 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 no. You know what? Screw it. I'm actually going to go the Panthers winning this game. I think they make a statement win against the Jaguars and say, like, okay, we're going to look to be better. I think Bryce Young will do good because he's got new weapons with Territoria McMillan. So I'm going to go with the Panthers winning this game over the Jaguars, right? So I'll go with that, right? But my uncle, he ended up choosing Jacksonville to win this game 24-21. We got the Battle of Ohio, week one, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. This is going to be again another match that's going to be really good. Um, this is going to be a close game just from the standpoint. The Bengals defense is not that good. I know they got, I think, Shamar Turner and what is it? And Trey Hendrickson, they re-signed him, but I feel like the defense, even against an old ass man, Joe Flacco, they're gonna get carved up. Whether it's in the run game, or the pass game, because in the preseason that defense did not look too good when the starters were out there. Um, that's the thing, but the Bengals offense, I think, will still be good. It's gonna be a back and forth game. Their offense, even against stout defenses, can score. So I do think they will be able to put up points. But I also do think the Browns will be able to put up points against them because their defense just isn't strong enough, right? But we'll definitely see where it's going to go. And also, I think that the Bengals, I think today they just signed Mike Pennell Jr. or whatever from the Chiefs, because he was a free agent. So we'll see where that goes. But I got the Bengals winning this game just barely. But again, I would not be shocked if Cleveland finds a way to win the game, especially if it's like last possession. You know if it's last possession and they need to go like down, and if it's a tie game and they need to go and Cleveland needs to go down and get a field goal to win the game, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to put my money on Cleveland winning that game because I just do not trust that Bengals defense. But the thing with the Bengals is, they can lock this game up if they get out to an early lead, maybe early two-score lead, and then their defense gets stops here and there. As long as the defense gets stops here and there, they'll be able to win games. Like if they just can't stop nobody, then that's when they're going to lose games, and you're gonna have to expect to win games in a fucking shootout to where more than likely your offense may have to try to put up damn near almost 40 to maybe 50 points a game to try to find a way to win games and your defense not getting there. So we'll see. Anyways, my uncle's going with Cincinnati, but he did let me know that he could definitely see Cleveland winning this game. We got the Buccaneers at the Falcons. Um, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay to win this game. I just think they're the more experienced team here. They got more weapons, or the better weapons, as opposed to the Falcons. This is actually going to be Michael Penix Jr.'s true first like starting test, and only also another reason why I'm just gonna choose the Buccaneers to win this game is because they, for whatever reason, Raheem Morris did not play Michael Penix Jr. at all in the preseason. And as a young quarterback, especially against a Todd Bowles blitz heavy defense, and then they do have some injuries on their offensive line. I think they lost one of their, not one, they not only lost their center and Drew Dahlman to my Bears, but I think one of their other offensive line members he ended up getting having a season injury, so they are compromised on the offensive line, right? And with the fact that Michael Penix Jr. is a young quarterback, albeit he's seen a lot of games in college, he still is young in NFL terms, right? Um, I could see him definitely struggling because he didn't get any reps in the preseason. Um, Personally, I don't know why there was no outcry from the national media of why is this guy not getting any reps in the preseason. He should get some reps, but we'll see if it pays off. But I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay beating Atlanta. And I think they'll probably beat them by 2 scores. My uncle says he's got what is it? Let me see. He's actually got Atlanta winning 23-20. I think the Buccaneers are another team that my uncle does not trust too. Um, Again, I understand it's the home team, but I'll have to disagree with his take about Atlanta winning. I think Tampa Bay is going to come out and they're going to win. And plus, they got better. I think Tampa Bay's got crazy weapons over there. They got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's coming back. They got Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State, who I think is gonna be a really good receiver and everything. So yeah, but that's what I'm going to go. This thing gets into the afternoon slate of games. We got the 49ers going to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. This will be Sam Donald's first game as a Seattle Seahawk, and it's going to be the 49ers first game of the season, trying to right again, another team that's trying to right the wrongs of last season. The fact they just had a down year, but most of that was because of injuries, right? So right now they're coming in fully healthy. I'm going to end up picking the 49ers to win this game on the road in a very tough environment. This is definitely going to be a close game. The reason why I'm going to choose the 49ers is I just think the defense, right? I think the defense will give Sam Darnold some fits. I know he's got some solid weapons over there in Seattle, but I think with Robert Saleh coming back to the 49ers defense, I think that 49ers defense is going to go back to being the stout defense it was when they were initially under Robert Saleh. And I think they're going to give some havoc for Sam Darnold. And I think they'll maybe even force a turnover off of him. And I think as long as Brock Purdy doesn't do any turnovers and the offense gets started and going good, especially with Christian McCaffrey being back fully healthy, I think they'll find a way to win this game, and they'll win this game probably by a field goal. So we'll see there. But My uncle also chose San Francisco. He got the score, them winning 24-20. Next up is going to be the Titans at the Broncos. It's going to be Cam Ward's first start in an NFL jersey. In NFL jersey, I'm going to go with the Broncos winning this game because they're the more experienced team, and I think they're going to be furthermore prepared than what the Titans are. Um, I just think for Cam Ward's first game, he's gonna go up against a really stout, tough Denver Broncos defense in Denver with that altitude. I just don't think that's a good. Personally, that's kind of your whole thing of like, okay, we're throwing this dude into the wolves, right? We'll see how he does. I think he'll be fine. But I don't see them winning this game because he is a rookie quarterback going up against a really good defense. So yeah, I'm gonna have the Broncos winning this game, right? So, and that's what my uncle said. He says they're actually gonna win the game to 20-3. Then we got an NFC North matchup. We got two NFC North matchups this year, so or this week. So the first one is gonna be the Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Um, the Lions, they're going to be coming off, their, I guess you can say, failure of a season of the fact that their expectations were Super Bowl or bust, but they didn't do it. They lost Aaron Glenn as their defensive coordinator, and um, they lost Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator to the Bears and to the Jets, respectively. And essentially, they lost some members of their offensive line. I know their center. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think Frank Ragnow, I think he retired. Yeah, Frank Ragnow retired. They cut Dan Skipper, one of their tackles. And again, like I said, albeit the pieces are still there, on the offense side of the ball in terms of skill positions, right? They're definitely not as threatening to me. And we'll see how they do going to this game. But they're playing the Packers, who, again, I made a mention they traded for Micah Parsons. Now, I just looked on Twitter before I got onto the video and hit record. And apparently, Micah Parsons' back injury was legitimately legit. And apparently, like, the dude may actually like need a fucking cortisone shot. And honestly, it may look like the dude may not even play week one. So for all we know, the Packers may just be like, you know what? Take a week off. We'll reevaluate you next week to see if you're good to go. But yeah, we'll see. But if it does play, I think he might just be playing on like a limited basis. It might just be in like certain like third downs where they need to rush and get to that quarterback, right? So we'll definitely see. Who I got winning on this game. I'm just gonna have to reluctantly, I'm gonna have to choose the Packers to win this game. Mostly because we don't know how the starting, offense for the Lions is going to look with a new offensive coordinator. They lost some dudes on their offensive line, and on top of it, we also have to see how their defense is also playing. Even though they got Aiden Hutchinson back, we're gonna have to see how the defense also plays with the fact that they lost Aaron Glenn. We saw, 2 years ago with the Eagles after they lost their defensive coordinator and to the Colts, no, to the Cardinals, and then Jonathan Gannon, and then Shane Steichen to the Colts. Um, their year after which they made the Super Bowl that year, after that, like that entire year was a shit show for them. Like it was not good. So I definitely could see to where maybe the Lions they take a massive step back, and they're not as good as what they were the past 2 years, which would show you like clearly the coordinators got that shit down for them. Because, look, man, you even look because before even Ben Johnson was even the offensive coordinator there, the offensive coordinator before Ben Johnson, the Lions, when Dan Campbell was there, and that offense was not good. Yeah, they didn't have the weapons they had at the time, that they do now, but even then, it's like their offense did not look good. Jared Goff looked like he was going to be out of the league. And then Ben Johnson came in, fixed everything, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Lions play going forward this season now that they lost their coordinators. And when you got new guys calling plays, albeit you can keep the same system, right? as much as you want. Regardless, the coordinators are going to call what they feel is best. So we'll see what happens, right? So yeah. And then the next game is going to be the Texans at the Los Angeles Rams. Also, my uncle Darrell did say he's choosing Green Bay to win this game, as well. The Texans, the Rams. Um, Texans, they're going to look to try to rebound. CJ Stroud's going to try to look to rebound from his sophomore slump of a year, right? While the Rams, obviously, they had a really good year where they essentially went above expectations of how they were going to go because some people thought they weren't going to be a good team last year, but the fact that they were only a few plays away from actually beating the Eagles in their building on a snowy day in Philadelphia in the playoffs in the divisional round, like you can make the case they could have essentially went to the NFC Championship game and they could have played the Commanders and they could have potentially even made it to Super Bowl themselves, right? Um, I'm gonna go with the Rams to win this game. I feel like their defense is gonna be going crazy with Jared Forrest, and I know the Texans defense, led by D'Amico Ryans, is also good with Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. I just think the Rams, with Matthew Stafford, they're going to find a way to win. I think they have the better weapons to be utilized as opposed to the Texans, albeit Nico Collins and the others. They're going to be really good, especially Jaden Higgins, I think is going to be good. But we'll see. But I'm going to go with the Rams to win because they're the home team. But yeah, we'll definitely see, how it's going to go. But yeah, then we got a rematch of the divisional round from last year in the AFC, and that is the Ravens looking to go back to play the Buffalo Bills. This will be the Sunday night football game on NBC. I think Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. That's going to be a popcorn matchup to watch. Obviously, the Ravens are going to try to come in to make up for that loss they had last year, which if Mark Andrews catches the football, I believe they would go on to win the game. Or no, force the tie to go into overtime, right? But he dropped the pass or he dropped the extra point, and they ended up losing in the playoffs. So, oh, I forgot to mention, my uncle's gonna go with Houston, so that's where we differ there. In terms of the Ravens and the Bills, um, I'm gonna go with, ooh man, I'm gonna go with the Bills to win because they're the home team. But again, I would not be shocked if I would not be shocked if the Ravens find a way to win this game. But we'll see. It's kind of one of those toss 'em up games where it's like whatever you pick, it's a good option. But I think the Bills will make a play in the regular season to go out there and win the game. And we'll see. But then again, like the Ravens in their week one matchup last year against the Chiefs, you know, like legitimately they were like one play away from even beating the Chiefs in Kansas City. So again, like I said, I would not be shocked if that's the case. My uncle is going to take the Bills to win this game 38-35. And then the last game of the week one slate is going to be the Minnesota Vikings taking on my Chicago Bears, with Ben Johnson leading the helm and looking to get Caleb Williams on track. um, I'm gonna go with the Bears to win this game, but I think they win this game just barely escaping. The D Brian Flores' defense is gonna be crazy. Um, and then on top of it, we have to see how we're definitely gonna see how JJ McCarthy goes. Um, I hope for my sake that Jalen Johnson is back because I know he's nursing a hamstring injury. Ben Johnson and the others have said that he should be on track to go for week one, especially the fact because we need this guy to play against Justin Jefferson, and then they also got Adam Thielen back as well. So we'll see. Look, the keys of the Bears winning this game, in my opinion, is Caleb Williams can't turn the ball over. He can't take any bad sacks or anything. Play within the flow of the offense. I also do think the Bears need to run the ball effectively. And also at the same time, just have timely management, right? Really pick apart this defense, make Brian Flores play or get his or or pay for his blitzing, right? Receivers on the Bears got to win their one-on-one individual battles. Got to get fine, get open, give Caleb Williams time. Offensive lines got to give Caleb Williams time, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then also no false starts, no false starts. So yeah, no. What I will say is what the Vikings can take advantage of is the left tackle. Braxton Jones more than likely is going to be the starter, and personally, if you ask me, as a Bear fan, I do not like that, but that's the case. The Bears should win this game because they are the home team. They're going to be going up against a quarterback making his first ever NFL start. And I would envision Dennis Allen looking to make things tricky for him, try to get heavy pressure on him. And that's where, again, I made a mention in my Bears video talking about my comparison going to the Green Bay Packers. Guys, these are the type of games where Montez Sweat needs to show up in. He needs to put pressure on JJ McCarthy, be that elite pass rusher we need him to be, get to him, make sure that's the case. And also, the Bears got to stop the run. They got to stop Aaron Jones Jr., who they've had trouble dealing with in the past. They got to stop the run, and they got to find ways to win. And get pressure on JJ McCarthy. If the Bears can get consistent pressure on JJ McCarthy, making him throw the ball a little bit earlier than scheduled, and they can find a way to force a turnover on him, then the Bears should win this game pretty convincingly. But if the Bears defense can't get pressure on him, they're letting JJ McCarthy get time to throw, they're able to run the ball on us, then that's when things can get dicey, where the Bears can somewhat barely win, if not maybe lose. Personally, as a Bears fan, I need them to win this game because this establishes going out, going out essentially and proving like, okay, we're gonna change for the better. This is a new era. And especially the fact that you're gonna be going into Detroit next week, the Bears need to win this game. Because I'd rather start the season off 1-0. And if you go to Detroit and lose that game and you're 1-1, you got to play a Cowboys team at home, albeit they got a good offense. I don't think their defense is good, but especially with Matt Eberflus, like this is the thing I'm talking about. So the Bears need to win this game. I think this needs to be a win. It doesn't have to be convincing, but whatever they win, and based on how Caleb Williams plays, it can be a statement win too. So the guys just got to step up and they got to do their jobs at the same time. That's the thing. On the Viking side, they got to do their job too. It's a divisional opponent. Any divisional opponent win is good. And on top of this, could do wonders for JJ McCarthy's confidence if he finds a way to win this game in Chicago in a very hostile experience or hostile, environment, and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Bears to win this game. I think it's gonna be a close game that they win. And we'll see if I'll see if the Bears can get off on a good start. So yeah, but other than that, that's just my week predictions. So yeah, my uncle Darrell, let me give you his thoughts. Um, he actually has Chicago winning 26-20. So we basically agree there. But yeah, but that's basically my week one predictions. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on how on to do week two predictions and week one recaps and talk about some games that we thought were pretty important in this grand schemes of things. At the same time, catch me on Monday Night Football. Um, what is it? Or after Monday Night Football, hopefully join by my Uncle Darrell as well on that, where I give my Chicago Bears game recap, where I talk about the Bears outcome of their Monday Night Football game against the Minnesota Vikings. And you guys can get my thoughts on if the Bears look good, if they didn't look good, and if I'm going to rant on certain things and shit like that. But NFL is back. I'm going to be nervous again on Monday Night Football, but yeah. But anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Cam Free 15 Talk sports content and things like that. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.